first of all, I have to say I'm really glad it's Baptism Sunday because I straight up thought Trevor was wearing his shorts with Sarah's face all over them because it was Mother's Day. And as much as I'm okay with having a casual pastor, that was honestly a little much, but I mean, okay, it's Mother's Day. So there's that. All right, so our verses today is something that we've seen a whole lot of times. Well, I'm going to have to get there first. Give me a minute. All right, we've seen it, we've read it, we've studied it, we've seen it in sermon. It's not anything that's new to anyone. However, a month ago, I went to a women's conference, and it was a few days, but I'm making my chicken scratches as things that stand out to me, the speakers, and I get back to my regular work days and stuff, and I'm writing those down in my notebook as something I can study. I'm writing the scriptures down and the notes I've taken, and this stood out to me, and I'm going to read Matthew 7:1-3. Do not judge, for you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? We've all heard it. So I really got to thinking about that. The second verse is what stood out to me so much because, again, I've always heard about the plank in your own eye. That's what we've always focused on in sermon, etc. But the speaker was talking about, for in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use it will be measured to you. And I've never really heard that focused on. And when I was writing that down in my notebook, I really started thinking about that. I put that in my own mind. It's like, how do I judge others? And I thought back over my lifetime, and it's like, man, I really feel like I have been a judgy person. And, people that know me, I don't know how particular God is on some things, because you know me, if I see you out in public in your jammies, I'm 100% judging you. And I really feel like God is with me on this, because he expects you to be clothed at Walmart. So you can just, that about me if you see me. But I really have looked over and like, yes, I have been a judgy person in my lifetime. And so I started thinking about that and how God has got a lot to judge me about, I'm not going to lie, but on this particular thing, where do I stand? And I thought, well, I'm not so bad about that anymore. I really feel like in my lifetime, there's not a lot of, because I have been in a lot of situations, done a lot of things I should not do. And I'm going to stand before God, I'm going to have to answer for those things, but I'm not so bad about that now. So I just continued on with my scriptures, my rest of my stuff. And about a week later, one of my people came and we were visiting, and she was talking to me about one of her friends, her very close friends, in a situation that her friend is in. Now, she was not gossiping. Let me be very clear. She was not there gossiping. She's truly concerned about her friend. And so as we were having this conversation, I told her what was biblical in this situation. And then pretty soon I put my 2 cents in about what I thought about it. And then for long it was 50 cents. By the time I was done with this situation, this conversation, I had a whole lot of dollars in there. And I didn't even notice it. I didn't think about it, didn't notice it. I just went on about her day. She left. I went to bed that night. As usual, I said my prayers, and I always start, my prayers with forgiveness. If there's something I've done I need forgiveness for. And then I move on. And I just could not move on. Like my mind was just everywhere. I tried to go on with my prayers, and I just could not do it. It was just like I just was on a rat wheel. I'm like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, there it is. Just like a reel going through my head of that conversation. And by golly, I did not care for it. I was watching TV of the Miss McJudgy Pants playing in my head of that whole conversation. Because I used to be so judgy. And it's like, Laura, you've been a Christian for a long, long time. And yet, here I am, because I thought I used to be so judgy. And I felt so bad. Not only did I have to ask forgiveness from God and focus on some things in my life, I had to call my person the next day and tell her how sorry I was for judging her friend who I do know, but I don't know her situation. And my whole point in this conversation is I have to strive every day in my Christian walk to be less like me. I'm never going to be good enough. None of us are ever going to be good enough for the gift that we've been given. But every day I have to strive to be better. We have to strive to be less like us and more like Christ. And that's sometimes a big ask. It's a big struggle. And yet I hope that every day we realize that we have something to work on. And I have more than one thing to work on, but here I am laying it out for you guys that, yeah, it's a big thing. I've been a Christian for a long time, but it's something I'm always going to have to look at what's going to be next for me to work on. Will you pray with me? Dear Lord, I come before you today, first thanking you for your goodness and your mercy. I thank you for understanding that we are all human and knowing that we will never be good enough for your grace that you've given us. You still love us, and we love you. Please help us strive more each and every day to be better than yesterday. It's in your Son's name I pray. Amen.